How much air leaks from your walls, attic, ductwork, floor? The most important leak to seal is the ductwork, since it's a pressurized leak. Ductwork is pressurized by the blower in the air handler, and it pushes the air into each room. Here's a home performance myth for you. It is important to have great windows completely sealed up. False. Contrary to popular opinion, windows are one of the least important places to seal up. New windows look pretty, but they exist along the neutral pressure plane of the home. This means that the windows have very little air infiltration because there is neither positive or negative pressure there. Let me explain the law of holes. The amount of air going through a hole depends on two things: the size of the hole and the amount of pressure difference on either side of the hole. In the cooling season, hot, buoyant attic air expands, creating positive pressure, pushing air through the holes at the top. Heat moves from more to less. The air that you paid to cool is more dense than the hot air, and so it's going to move toward the floor. Then it's pushed out the cracks and holes at the bottom of the house. As the cool air is pushed out, negative pressure is created, allowing more hot attic air to move from more pressure to less pressure, being pushed into your conditioned space. With the hot air comes in all the junk residing in your attic insulation. What's in there? Carcinogens, formaldehyde if you have older fiberglass, all the pollen, cedar, mold spores that collect in your vented attic over the years, the humidity, all the rodent droppings, bacteria, and urine. Yep, you are breathing it in. This is part of why the indoor air quality is often more contaminated than our outdoor air. According to the EPA, levels of indoor air pollutants often are 2 to 5 times higher than outdoor levels. In some cases, these indoor pollutant levels will exceed 100 times that of the outdoor pollutant levels. Can you see how it makes sense to vacuum everything out in your attic and then sterilize everything? I hope so. If hot air in your attic expands, pushing itself into your conditioned space and creating positive pressure, then at the bottom of the house is negative pressure where the conditioned air escapes out. That means that somewhere in the middle of the wall is where it changes over from positive to negative pressure. It is at that point where there is no pressure. This is called the stack effect. The leaks farthest up in the conditioned space in your house leak out the most, and the leaks furthest down leak out the most. So sealing a 1-inch hole in the very top is way more important than sealing the equivalent sized hole in the middle, which is why windows are a low priority for home performance compared to other leaks. The law of the stack effect states that by sealing air leaks in the top of the house, we can stop hot, musty, allergen-filled air from coming into the house. This results in rooms at the bottom of the house also being less drafty without actually touching the bottom half of the house. That's why we have the A, B, and C priorities. A for attic, which would be your attic, ceiling, and roof. B for below grade, which would be your crawl space or if we had a basement. And C would stand for your conditioned space, meaning your walls, your doors, your windows. So how much air is leaking through your ceiling? According to the U.S. Department of Energy, the average house air leakage equals to a 2-foot by 2-foot window being open 24/7. If you're trying to cool your house, don't you think it'd be smart to close that window and stop leaking all the air out that you paid to heat or cool?